question that comes up for a lot of people is, I'm boring. When I communicate, I don't have a sense of presence. I'm just here to share the details. Pete and Dean, what do you recommend for people who think they're boring and they don't have anything to communicate effectively?
The best thing a person can do if they think that they're going to be boring, or if they think that their natural tendency is to be boring, is to start to explore dynamics. And our definition of dynamics is super simple. It's things change. So when you look at this prospect of you presenting something, you want to start to ask yourself, well, what can I change up in my presentational style? And it could be something as simple as changing your tempo and injecting larger pauses sometimes and smaller pauses somewhere else, and finding some opportunities to just talk for a long time and present a tremendous amount of information in a short span of time.
So changing is certainly going to make you more interesting. One of the things that I found is whenever you take somebody who's not particularly interesting, either they're not putting themselves into it, or they've decided they're afraid you're not going to find it interesting, and that zaps them of their power. Take somebody who's really flat and you take them aside and say, why does this stuff matter to you? And suddenly they light up. So a big part of this is interestingness is change in your behavior, like what Pete was saying. And interestingness is emotional ingredients adding to your body language. So why do you care, and can you care now? And that's the biggest thing that I find is it's not that you don't care, and it's not that you can't care. It's this simple question: can I care right now and feel it again?
Great example that leaps to mind is years ago, Dean and I were working with this young woman who was in charge of this safety process that had to get communicated to the whole team. And she walked into it like it was the most boring thing in the world. And she did that because the team had indicated to her that, oh my gosh, this is just a little, this is something for the checklist. She's just telling us this so that she can not need to worry about having to communicate this to us. So they walked in with a certain idea in their head, and she accepted their idea as the truth. She was concerned that they wouldn't care, so she didn't care, and she was just trying to get it over with as fast as possible. We put her through a short little process asking her, so what's the worst thing that could happen if people don't do these safety precautions that you're talking about? Well, somebody could get hurt, somebody could die. So is that significant? Yeah, she really got it emotionally that this really does matter. And we got her to emotionally embody this significance. And all of a sudden, her presentation was way more interesting and her audience was way more interested.